We've got outside linebacker Myles Williams, little known, the co-founder of the Golden Buddies Football Clinic. You guys thought that was all Cindo, but give a little love to Myles, and also made his first start last Saturday. So questions for Myles, let us know. Okay, we'll start with Thomas Dunn from Radford, California.
Good afternoon, Myles. You've been getting the praises of Coach Wilcox and Coach Sherman pretty much ever since spring ball of 2022. Where do you feel like you've developed the most over the course of time to allow yourself to get on the field?
I think just honestly, the game has slowed down a lot for me, or rather I've, gotten up to speed with the game. Coming in as a freshman, I had only played 2 real years of varsity football before coming in and playing here. So I've been really, trying to get up with the speed of the game and make my reads faster and just play how I know I can play.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll go to Matt Moreno from Rivals.
How's it going? Listening to Coach Sermon yesterday, he mentioned kind of your versatility as being a big part of what was able to kind of get you that start, get you on the field a little bit more. He talked about, being able to play on those running downs. I mean, how much has that helped you to be able to be someone who could be out there in kind of any situation?
I think it's helped a lot. Me as a player, I've always loved doing the dirty work, just getting in my gaps, stopping the run. Just like this week coming up at Oregon State, we're expecting a dogfight, and I couldn't be happier. So honestly, as me as a player, that's just who I am. So I'm excited.
Okay, we'll go to Jeff Ferrato. Go ahead, Jeff.
Myles, you said you only played 2 years of varsity football. Can you explain, were you on the JV team as a sophomore, or did you play other sports, or what was going on there?
Yes, I actually started playing football my freshman year of high school, and I played JV my freshman year. I played varsity my sophomore year and junior year, but my senior year was COVID year. So I ended up opting out of that year because it was a short season and I was already committed to Cal going into my senior year. And I think I was really worried about injuries and whatever, maybe. In retrospect, I wish I would have played. I could have really used experience, but I'm happy where I'm at now.
Did you play other sports in the meantime or when you were younger?
Yeah, I grew up playing basketball primarily and played a bit going into my sophomore year, or freshman and sophomore year of high school. I played JV my freshman year and a little bit of varsity burn, but once I started playing football, I knew that was what I really wanted to do.
All right, thanks.
Yeah.
Okay, other questions for Myles? Go back to Thomas Dunn.
Myles, there was the mention of you being one of the leading voices of the Golden Buddies program. How much pride do you take in the Golden Buddies program and putting smiles on people's faces?
I take a lot of pride in that. Me and Cindo and I, along with the people at Cameron Institute, Taylor Perez, Zach Boshin, and Jesse Stewart, they've been with us since I think last spring, January, February. It had been in talks, so it's a long time coming, and I can't wait to get it started next semester, next year, hopefully, and make it a recurring thing that is here after I'm gone.
Okay, we'll go to Maria Colada with Rivals.
Hi, Myles. When I was talking to you at Golden Buddies camp, you were kind of saying that Matt Cindra kind of provided that sort of leadership for you, and you're hoping to sort of take over from him in that regard. How has it been for you working with him now that he's also like on the sidelines and still in that leadership position? Yeah,
he's really present throughout practice, throughout games. He travels with us, and he's still a real leader on the team that, I think a lot of guys look up to. But as far as the Golden Buddies camp that we did, he was a little mentor for me and highlighted the things I need to get done as far as what you call planning, organizing, and getting outreach for an event like that going. So all thanks to Cindo.
Okay, we'll go to Jeff Ferrato. Go ahead, Jeff.
There's a lot of different kinds of things you could be involved with off the field, Myles. What was your attraction to the Golden Buddies program?
Well, the attraction started as long as I can remember. My parents are both special education adaptive PE teachers that work with special needs kids. And I've been volunteering. I grew up with them, doing volunteering summers, visiting them during what's called the regular school year, all times a year. I'd go volunteer, do lesson plans with my dad, sit in with my mom. So I knew it was a community that I'm already really connected to and wanted to just do a little bit more than, some other people are doing. So.
And what did your mom and dad have to say about your involvement with this?
I think they were really proud of it. I hadn't been able to see them for a few months. They hadn't been able to travel up here. So phone calls, text messages, sending every time the social media team would send out a promo or some kind of prep, or not prep, like just getting ready for the event, stuff on social media. They'd send it to me, call me up and be like, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening. Mainly mom, but yeah, they were really happy to see that.
Nothing wrong with making mom happy, right?
Oh, not at all. Not at all.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Any other questions for Myles? We're here with tight end Jack Endries. If you have a question for Jack, go ahead and let us know in the chat and we'll call upon you. Okay, we'll get started with Jeff Ferrado. Go ahead, Jeff.
Jack, take us back to when you began playing football. I'm wondering what position or positions you played at the start, and at what point and why and how did you become a tight end?
Okay. So I started playing 8th grade for a little league called PGFL, but I wasn't anything. I was way too skinny. I was like 8th grade, I'm pretty young, like underdeveloped. I was like a safety, but I was second string. I didn't play much. It wasn't my passion for sure. I played baseball, basketball, love those a lot more. Freshman year, I missed the first week of practice. I was on a vacation. So I was the 3rd string tight end the whole season. So I only got reps in like the 5th quarter, but I was an outside linebacker, and that was what I liked the most, being outside linebacker. Then the year after that, I got moved to tight end. And then, as soon as I played my first scrimmage I was on JV too. So JV year, on the scrimmage, I got 2 touchdowns. I knew I loved it. I had a great connection with my quarterback. So that's really how it started. And then since that sophomore year, I've had some really good connections, really good coaches. I've been working out at Cal Strength, and they actually put me on with Zach Ertz, who went to my high school. And he actually reviewed some of my film and gave me some tips. And that encouraged me a lot too. I got more involved in 7-on-7. And at this time, I totally knew I wanted to be a tight end. Sophomore to junior year. Junior year, I was mainly a tight end. Didn't really play outside linebacker. And then senior year was just tight end, outside linebacker. But I knew I wanted to be a tight end from there.
What did Zach tell you?
He reviewed my JV film, so it wasn't great. But he taught me like stemming and like two-step breaks and restacking on corners and nickels, whoever's trying to guard me, linebackers, using speed, using my hands to get them off me and free myself up, pretty much.
Thanks.
Okay, other questions for Jack? Let us know in the chat. Okay, we'll go to Thomas Dunn from Radford, California.
Good afternoon, Jack. You obviously just credited Zach Ertz with helping your development. Who else in your life has helped you develop to get you to where you are today?
Okay, a couple coaches. Want to think of the ones I've mainly been working with since high school. So I worked with big development in my game was Victor James, Proving Grounds. He was during COVID, which is where I had most of my development because there wasn't any school. So I would mostly just go work out. I'd go run with him and then go lift every day. I'd work with him, a couple of my buddies, and he totally developed me into like tight end. Like I was a JV player, and then the next year I was like a D1 player. I think it's a huge jump, to be honest with you. But he developed all my receiving and my speed. He definitely helped me with my speed and power too. And then obviously at Cal Strength, I worked with Joseph Marr, who was a strength coach. He helped. I got a lot bigger. I think I gained 50 pounds from JV year to junior year over the COVID too. And then recently I've been working with Eric Swoop, who used to be in the NFL. And now I just sometimes during Sundays when we're off, I go back to Danville where I'm from and I go work with him, and he helps me with my releases and blocking and receiving. And then I'll watch a little bit of film with him and he'll tell me what's going on.
Thank you.
Yep.
Okay. Other questions for Jack? Go to Matt Moreno from Rivals.
Obviously getting that chance to get out there, especially that Washington game got used quite a bit. What have you learned just being on the field and getting that opportunity to go up against, some top caliber players so far?
What I learned is I have to trust in myself, and I got to believe that I could beat whoever's in front of me. And that's something I really gotta know during the game. Like, don't freak out. Like, you got this guy in front of you. You can beat him any given day. And it's not just about him. Now I gotta look around me and like, is the corner like really focusing on the wide receiver next to me? Like, no, it's man, no, it's zone immediately. Have a plan. Some of the things I've learned, like just have a plan when I'm going to go out there, run a route, or even when I'm in the line blocking, like, is there going to be pressure from the outside? Do I got to alert the tackle next to me? Do I got to pick up? It's a lot of just not freaking out and knowing what I have to do and playing my job and playing my leverages, and also making sure the quarterback knows what I'm doing,
Okay, we'll go back to Jeff Ferrano. Go ahead, Jeff.
Yeah, I think you mentioned playing in PJFL. Were you living in Pleasanton at the time, or did you commute over there?
I commuted.
One of my kids played in the PJFL.
Yeah, I commuted. I was in Blackhawk and Danville. So I just make that drive every day. And it was nice actually, because I played baseball right next to that, like the practice field where we played. So I immediately after football practice go straight to baseball practice, because football wasn't my main target at the time.
And were you playing contact or flag at the time?
It was contact. But I was so light. I think like I had a couple tackles at safety, but that was about it. It was, at that time it's whoever's big and developed runs the league pretty much.
And how tall and how much did you weigh, you think, in the 8th grade?
I don't know. I was probably that's tough. I don't know, like 5'8", probably like 120 pounds probably.
And at what point did it occur to you that you might be able to play college football?
JV year, when I had a couple of good games at tight end. It's JV, of course, but my coach, Nate Racina's dad, actually told me like a couple of the scouts, and the scouts were coming to the games for Nate Racina, and like UC Davis, San Jose State are the ones that come to mind. And then Nate's dad was like, "Yeah, these coaches are actually really interested in you. They've been seeing how you've been playing." And then from there, I got a couple invites to I forgot what they're called, like the junior days or maybe sophomore days. I don't know, where they invite you to the campus. And I was going to go on those until COVID happened. But that's when I knew there was a shot for sure. It was funny, actually, a couple of my friends believed in me more than I believed in myself at the time. But then when I just got bigger and stronger, I knew I could go D1.
And so when you got the word from Nate's dad that there was a couple of coaches maybe taking a look at you, what was your reaction?
I was surprised. I never thought that I was going to go play football anywhere, to be honest with you. It was just a hobby at the time. Obviously, I'm young. I'm my second year playing football pretty much. But I was really excited at the time. I just thought it was really exciting to be looked at as a prospect.
But up till then, it was just something to do while you're waiting for baseball?
Yeah, at the sophomore year, so JV, once I started like playing better at football, it was I started to like it more than I liked baseball for sure. Like once you're I don't know, I think offense is a lot more fun for me personally, but that sparked my interest in the game a lot more. And it was definitely, I think that was probably my focus at the time, because I stopped playing basketball too. So it was just football and baseball. They were probably going 50-50 until I started playing better in football. And then it was like 70-30. Like I liked football a lot more probably.
Great. Thank you.
Yep.
Okay, we'll go to Maria Koladova from Rivals.
Hi, can you talk a little bit about what it's like playing for like a Jake Spavital offense? He's been talking for the past couple of weeks about wanting to use you and the other tight ends a lot more in his offense. So what's that been like for you?
It's fast paced and a mixture of, receiving and blocking. I like that. I like the fast pace a lot. I love the way he calls the plays too. I think it's perfect. I just think as an offense, we got to step up, play more as a unit. I think some of us are off at sometimes, like one player. It's just, you got to do your job. But I love it. And he's definitely getting me involved in the passing game. We got to make plays. We got to keep the ball going. And I like the way he calls it. And I like the run plays. I like the passing plays too. I think it's perfect.